An important step as a beginner is to start interacting with others and knowing how to talk about yourself and your interests. This will help you move ahead socially and make Portuguese friends faster. Also, if you are considering taking the A2 Simple exam, this is essential information you need to know, so make sure to watch until the end. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe and leave me a like or a comment. Bom, e agora vamos começar! Introducing yourself always begins with personal information and things that characterize you, usually expressed with the verb ser. This verb, equivalent to the verb to be, is used for things that define us, that are part of our essence. One of its uses is to say our name. Normally, natives introduce themselves only with their first name, nome próprio. However, we might add our last name, nome de família ou apelido, in a more formal setting. Eu sou a Sandra. I am Sandra. Notice that I am using the feminine article before my name to show that I am the person who is called Sandra. If I were a man called Pedro, I would say eu sou o Pedro, with a masculine definite article. Another common way to say your name is using the verb chamar-se. Eu chamo-me Sandra Carapinha. Chamar-se, to call oneself, is a reflexive verb. An article isn't needed with this verb. To express the country where you are from, the verb ser is required again, now combined with the preposition de, that can be contracted or not with an article depending on the country. Note that a small group of countries don't need definite article, like Portugal, but most require one. Also pay attention if it's singular or plural. Eu sou de Portugal. I am from Portugal. Eu sou dos Estados Unidos da América. I am from the United States of America. Eu sou da China. I am from China. Now let's talk about professions. Instead of using I work as, more common in English, typically we use the verb ser associated with the name of the profession, without an indefinite article. Eu sou professora. I am a teacher for a female teacher. Eu sou médico. I am a doctor for a male doctor. Some professions are difficult to translate or give a name. In these cases, use the verb trabalhar and add the name of the field you work in. For example, trabalho em publicidade. I work in advertising. Talking about age in Portuguese is so different from how it is done in English. We use the verb ter, to have. Think that in Portuguese, we have years. We also do not use the expression years old, just years. Eu tenho 45 anos. I am 45 years old. To express where we live, we use the verbs morar or viver, combined with a preposition em, which can be contracted with an article if the word after is a noun that designates something specific, like the name of a street, a neighborhood, or a state. It is used without contraction with city names unless the name of that city is an exception. This happens with the city of Porto, for example, since the city's name is also a common noun. So to differentiate, we use a definite article, o Porto. But usually, no article is needed when referring to a city. Eu vivo em Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles. Eu moro na Califórnia. I live in California. Eu vivo na Avenida da Vitória. I live on Victory Avenue. If you are a beginner and you are looking for a Portuguese workbook to learn and practice A1 level topics like we are covering today, I highly recommend you check out the new books Português em Rede by Porto Editora. It has a main workbook and 2 options of exercise books, one generic and another for Spanish speakers. My favorite thing is that the book has a digital component to it that can be accessed through the online platform Português Mais Perto. While online, you will have several interactive exercises to practice listening, grammar, pronunciation, and so much more. It's a fun way to enrich your learning in case you are interested in checking it out. I'll leave the links in the description below. They do ship internationally. Now let me teach you how to talk about things you like. For this, use the verb gostar, to like. With this verb, it is mandatory to use the preposition de when we say that we like something, followed by a noun, or some action activity followed by a verb. Eu gosto de ler. I like to read. Eu gosto de livros. I like books. Eu gosto do livro A Odisseia. I like the book The Odyssey. Here we made the contraction of the preposition with the article because we are talking about a specific book. Now let's practice emphasizing in the positive and negative and in intensity. Eu gosto muito de ler. I like to read a lot. Versus, eu gosto pouco de ler. I don't like to read much. This is equivalent to saying, eu não gosto de ler. I don't like to read. We can be more dramatic and say, eu não gosto nada de ler. I don't like to read at all. If you want to list several things you like, you must repeat the preposition de before each thing. Eu gosto de fazer bolos, de nadar e de tomar café com amigos. I like baking, swimming, and having coffee with friends. Adorar is used to express things you like a lot. It is equivalent to the verb to love in English, but in Portuguese it is used for things or activities. For people, we have a more emotional verb, amar. Eu adoro ler. I love to read. For preferences, to express more than, just add mais do que to the structure gostar mais de. Eu gosto mais de ler do que de ver filmes. I like reading more than I like watching movies. Now let me share a basic introduction using what we learned. Remember that in Portuguese, it's very common to drop the pronoun eu and just use the conjugated verb. Chamo-me Sandra Carapinha, tenho 45 anos, sou dos Estados Unidos da América e sou professora. Moro em Los Angeles, na Califórnia. Gosto muito de passar tempo com a minha família, de fazer yoga e, sobretudo, adoro ensinar. E tu? Share with me in the comments below your introduction paragraph. Até para a semana!